So we got game 2 of the finals. And I was watching this game over at my buddy Herb's house from church. And interesting series, especially when you take into account that Cleveland made all the necessary adjustments that they needed to make from game 1 to game 2. Cleveland's turnovers down from 20 to 9. They forced Golden State into 20 turnovers. Same amount of turnovers that Cleveland had in game 1, but it didn't make a difference. This game surprised me. Cleveland basically, limited Golden State's fast break points. They didn't get as many as they did in game 1. And then look as dominant in fast break points in this game. Every time Golden State came down court, Cleveland was right there up in them, didn't allow them to get wide open passes, and didn't allow them to pass the ball freely, was annoying them with their defense. As apparently, by the 20 turnovers by Golden State. But, this game's telling me, and Cleveland didn't turn the ball over that much as they did in game 1 either. They had 9, turnovers. And, most of the numbers were pretty decent in this game. Cleveland played a decent game. I'm just taking from this matchup is Golden State just has too much offense. Klay Thompson goes from scoring 6 points in game 1, and then he comes back, drops 22 in game 2 to redeem himself. So this is just the kind of, depth that this Warriors team had. Then they had a guy named Clark coming off the bench. I've known about him briefly, haven't known that much about him. Some rookie that they picked up in the middle of the season. So the Warriors have a lot of depth. And I just don't see what Cleveland can do in game 3 to beat this team. I just see a clean sweep. Maybe that's stretching it a little bit too much, but I just don't see any kind of adjustments that Cleveland can make for game 3 to beat this Warriors team. They just scored too many points. The only thing I'm banking on, or not banking on, because I don't have a dog in this fight, but Cleveland's gonna have to force Kevin Durant to pass the ball. And that might be, a pick your poison type of situation. But so far, Kevin Durant has been the only player in this series that has proven that he can carry the offense by himself. He's been the dominant factor in the series, 38 in game 1. Then he came back and did what he did yesterday in game 2. So he's the deciding factor. He's the head of the snake. He's the guy that you have to take out of the series and force, the others to beat you. But the only problem with that is if you take Kevin Durant out the series, then you got Steph Curry to worry about. Then you got Klay Thompson. Then you got even possibly Draymond Green that can have a big-time game. He hit a couple three-point shots. That just was 3 for 5 in the half quarter. And in the half, Draymond Green was 3 for 5 from three-point. So, Draymond Green can even get some key baskets. So this is a Warriors team that I've never seen a team like this, man, where every single player on the court at least four positions can create their own shot and hit three-point shots and can create shots for others. And it's going to be a tough task. I don't see Cleveland beating this team. When LeBron James was talking about he needed help, and towards the middle of the season where he got that big criticism of everybody saying, he needs all the talent on his team. He don't want to compete. Looking at that game last night, he don't have enough help. Him, Kyrie, and Love, they don't have enough help from these role players that's supposed to be hitting these shots. He made a pass to Richard Jefferson under the basket and he got stripped instead of just putting it right up. So he don't have the necessary tools that he need around him, the shooters and the role players that he need around him to make the difference. But on Golden State, you have everybody on their roster contributing. Everybody's involved in the offense. Everybody's running. Everybody's gunning. Everybody's hitting shots. And, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and Love is on the island by themselves. Love had a decent game, 15 points in the first half. I didn't check what he had to finish the game off, but he had a pretty decent game. They established him early, got him the ball down low, and he took advantage of, smaller guys that were on him in the post. But once the game sped up again and Golden State started to do what they do, Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson were, again, not that much of a factor. You know, a factor, but not that much of a factor to make a difference in this game. So this is a game where, in game 3, where Cleveland's going to have to they're going to have to be physical. And I'm not trying to say hurt players, but I think they're going to have to be physical with Golden State. I think at this point, that's your only option. Be physical with them. Force Golden State to do something else other than just shoot and drive to the rim. Force them out of their comfort zone. You know, make them shoot with physical contact. And you know, that's not something I'm saying to hurt players, like I said, but make them feel you on cuts. Make them feel you when they're going to the basket. Make them second guess themselves, you know, being aggressive out there on the floor offensively. So that's Cleveland's only option at this point. LeBron James is going to do what he does. Kyrie going to do what he does. Love going to do what he does. But those three-point shooters like Fry, Jefferson, and all of these guys that surround their offense, J.R. Smith, he's been absent, hasn't done anything. We had, 3 points in game 1? So he needs more players from the others. And that's it, you know. But like I said, I think this is a sweep. I don't think Cleveland has any shot at beating the Warriors. And this team is just doing something phenomenal right now. You know, I wrote an article about them the other day on my blog, you know, saying how they creating a trend. And that's basically what they've done. They've created a trend for themselves in the league. They're breaking records, 14 straight games, you know, in the playoffs. Has never happened in NBA history. You know, then they won 73 games last year. You know, this team is just, you know, they're in their own league. I'm not going to say they're better than the Bulls, but I can say that they're the most efficient team that I've seen in a long time. And probably, without a shadow of a doubt, the best team of this era. You know, maxing out wins, and, you know, I don't think they're going to lose a game. It's going to take a lot. You know, Cleveland's going to have to do a lot. Not to say it's not doable. You know, we are talking about a team that won the East with LeBron James on it. You know, the best player in the league right now. So it can be done. It's going to be a tough task, man, because this Golden State team look like it's on a mission. And then when you factor in, you know, when they lost 3-1 last year, that's probably in the back of their minds. So even if they went up 2 or 3 games, you know, in the back of their mind, they're probably saying, you know, we don't want to blow this. We want to make sure we put this team away this time. So you have that there. That situation.